If you don't have a real ID ahead of tomorrow's deadline, a little bit of good news for you.
The Department of Homeland Security says you can still fly with whatever ID you do have.
If it's not compliant, they may be diverted to a different line, have an extra step, but people will be allowed to fly. We will make sure that it is as seamless as possible and that travelers will get to stay on their intended itinerary, but we are telling people that this law will be enforced.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the government is giving travelers some leeway for now. K2's Joe English stopped by the Beaverton DMV to find out what last-minute things you need to know.
As well as how you can get around the long wait times. Listen to this.
Well, this may be one of the shorter long lines at the Beaverton DMV. DMV says it issued 25,000 new real IDs last week alone. It may seem like a daunting task, I know, but once you get through those doors, they have a lot of tips and suggestions and a lot of people in there to help you get through it.
Now serving as 473 of counter 4.
We've had to bring in some temporary workers. We've had even staff from our DMV headquarters are volunteering to give up their day job and come over here and help out.
If you try to fly, get into a federal building or onto a military base, starting Wednesday, you won't be able to do that without a real ID or another form of ID that meets federal security standards like a passport or military ID. But even if you're getting your real ID now, it won't show up in the mail for 3 weeks, and the TSA won't accept the temporary one. TSA says it will work with people who don't have a real ID, but checking in will likely take much longer and you could miss your flight. Those in line at the DMV that we talked to have been pretty happy with the process.
Yeah, real easy. And actually, I even saw my best friend, that Jim Fisher Volvo, was in here getting his ID. Okay. So you'll be surprised. You might see someone you know, and it might make the visitation a little more inspiring.
DMV says the best way to avoid aggravation is to bring the necessary documentation you need with you. Both DMV and TSA have that information on their websites. And if you can, book an appointment.
Once you get your real ID, you can renew it online. So the first time you get it, you have to come in person and present all the different documentation. But once you have it, you'll be able to renew it, and it'll be super easy.
You'll still be able to get a real ID after Wednesday, but you don't have to get one. It's not required. As of Monday morning, according to DMV, 38% of Oregonians have chosen to get a real ID. 46% have chosen to get a standard license. In Beaverton, Joe English, K2 News.
And by the way, we're told wait times can be as much as 5 hours.
And you don't have to go to the DMV office in the city or town you live in. It might be worth the drive to a nearby town where the office isn't so busy.